Here's what's making news at midday. We're monitoring holiday travel on this Friday as a storm along the East Coast is already impacting flights in and out of the region. President Trump is warning about a long government shutdown, what lawmakers are doing to try to avoid it.
This is News 3 at noon.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. Mark will be back on Monday. A winter storm is making holiday travel difficult for millions of Americans. Florida saw heavy rain and tornadoes yesterday, which uprooted trees, knocked down power lines, and flooded streets. Parts of the East Coast are also dealing with heavy rain.
It was scary. It was extremely quick.
The storm out east is causing airlines to delay some flights. Right now, 3 flights out of the Dane County Regional Airport are delayed to the New York area. So let's get an update right now from meteorologist Hattie McLean. Hi, Hattie. All's quiet around here.
Yeah, it is. Calling that the Grinch storm because there's so much green on the radar map out east. Yeah, luckily we don't have any of that to deal with here. Just a lot of clouds. Take a live look from the WISC-TV Skycam. Skies are definitely cloudy across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures have not moved much over the last 5 hours. We're in the upper 20s and low 30s across the area. There is a wind chill factor today. Unlike the last couple of days, it's actually going to feel like December today. Wind chills are in the teens and low 20s right now. Here's a look at your temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours. We're going to hold nearly steady in the low 30s this afternoon, then begin to drop back tonight. Now, the good news is those winds should diminish as we head into this evening.
Oh, that is good news. All right, we'll get a more update on the weather. We'll check back with you in just a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you, Hattie. Topping our news this noon, the fiance of a missing Colorado woman is in police custody. He was arrested this morning after police searched his property last week. 29-year-old Kelsey Barrett was last seen around Thanksgiving. She was reported missing December 2nd, and police offered a $25,000 reward for information leading to her whereabouts. Governor-elect Tony Evers has named 4 more members of his cabinet. Evers chose Craig Thompson to lead the Department of Transportation. He is the executive director of the Wisconsin Transportation Development Association. Evers also named Mark Affable as insurance commissioner, Rebecca Cameron Valk as chairwoman of the Public Service Commission, and Brad Pfaff as head of the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. A partial government shutdown goes into effect at midnight if the Senate doesn't pass a spending bill that includes funding for President Trump's border wall with Mexico. President Trump is putting pressure on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to change Senate rules to push through the spending bill. He tweeted today, "Mitch, use the nuclear option and get it done." The bill needs 60 votes to pass in the Senate, but the president is urging McConnell to lower the threshold to 51 votes.
You would love to see them use the 51 filibuster. I know that's something he's pushed Senator McConnell on in the past. I think he'd like to see that happen if necessary today. And the president wants border security, and he's not going to back down on this fight.
Everyone knows it can't pass the Senate. It's a cynical attempt to just hurt innocent people.
President Trump tweeted a warning today that without money for the wall, there will be a shutdown that will last for a very long time. A shutdown could leave 1/4 of the federal workforce without paychecks. President Trump's decision to withdraw the U.S. military from Syria isn't the only reason Defense Secretary James Mattis is leaving the White House. CBS News has learned the president has also ordered a drawdown of U.S. forces in Afghanistan. This morning, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders spoke about General Mattis's departure.
They continue to have a good relationship, but they disagree on a number of fronts that he outlined. But at the end of the day, the American people elected one person to be the commander-in-chief and to make decisions.
Everything that indicates stability, everything that indicates strength, everything that indicates knowledge is leaving this administration.
Republican Senator Marco Rubio tweeted, "It makes it abundantly clear that we are headed toward a series of grave policy errors which will endanger our nation, damage our alliance, and empower our adversaries. Madison's resignation won't take effect until February." Caribou Coffee is reporting a data breach at more than 260 of its stores. The data breach happened between August 28th and December 3rd, and Caribou says it is possible that customer names and credit card information may have been taken. Some of the affected stores are in Wisconsin. Caribou is asking people to monitor credit card statements and credit reports. Research being done in the Madison area is helping make weather forecasts around the country more accurate. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is working on a plan to improve forecasts, and the UW is instrumental in being part of that. The agency says more than $1 billion was spent on storms and resulting damage last year, like the flooding we saw here in Wisconsin and the hurricanes to the south and east. NOAA says UW satellite data is some of the top in its field, and it's using that to get more up-to-date, accurate information to people across the country so more money, damage, and lives can be saved in the future. In downtown Madison, East Doty Street will be down to one lane between Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and South Pinckney Street until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Crews will be pouring concrete at the Judge Doyle Square project, and they need some extra space. There is another concrete pour scheduled for next Friday as well. So if you're headed to the Isthmus, heads up about that. A Wisconsin man who came in second on this season of The Voice is returning to his hometown of Barron for a concert. Chris Cruzy is expected to perform at the Barron Area Community Center. Tickets go on sale December 22nd. There's more to come today at noon. When we come back, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
With all the company that's probably going to stop by over the next few weeks, we've got just the thing to keep them happy and you at ease. Starting now and right through the new year, if you're planning on having friends and family over, you're probably thinking, what could I put out for them to nibble on that's easy, that will fill them up, and that everyone will love? The answer is simple. Let me show you. We start by combining some refrigerated spinach dip along with some diced pimentos, a good amount of canned artichokes that we've chopped, a couple of cups of shredded cooked chicken, a rotisserie chicken works great for this, garlic powder, and to make this cheesy delicious, a handful of shredded mozzarella. Once this is mixed, we spoon it onto refrigerated crescent roll dough that we laid out on a pizza pan so it looks like the sun. After spooning on the filling, we fold the tip of each piece of dough over it and tuck in the ends. Once we finish this up, we pop it in the oven, and in less than 30 minutes, it's done. I can assure you, by this point, your company will be dying to dig into it. Between the flaky golden crust, the piping hot filling, and the fact that it looks like a wreath, what's not to love? To get the recipe for our spinach artichoke crescent ring, all you have to do is go to our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an easy last-minute way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thank you, Howard. Still to come today at noon, a man is trying to spread holiday cheer to some cancer patients. And thousands of people are expected to travel this holiday. Hattie joins us with the weekend forecast when News 3 at noon continues. Our call for action phone bank is open right now. The volunteers are here. If you have any issues that you need some help with, they are the people to call. The number to call is 270-2833. This service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. A controversial campaign by Nike is paying off, and there's one candy Americans hope they don't find in their stockings this Christmas. Here's Diane King Hall with today's Money Watch report.
Wall Street logged modest gains in early trading, but stocks are still on track for the worst December since 1931, which was during the Great Depression. Nike is finishing the year with a bang. The company made a big bet on quarterback turned activist Colin Kaepernick with its Just Do It campaign, and it paid off. The sportswear giant says quarterly profit rose to $847 million on sales of $9.4 billion. While it may be the most wonderful time of the year, the holidays can leave people in the red. According to Rent Cafe, Americans who rent in the biggest metro areas are expected to have $400 in debt after the holidays. Renters in cities like New York, San Diego, and Los Angeles are projected to have the biggest holiday hangover with debt in the thousands, while Minneapolis renters are likely to break even. Calling all last-minute shoppers, you still have time to get your gifts before Christmas. According to the National Retail Federation, 24% of Americans are expected to buy last-minute gifts this Saturday, and 7% will be rushing to stores on Christmas Eve. Some companies are catering to procrastinators. Amazon is offering same-day Christmas Eve delivery for Prime members, and Target, Walmart, and Best Buy are staying open until 6 p.m. Christmas Eve. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Let's check stocks at midday. The Dow is down 83 points at the noon hour, and the NASDAQ is off 109. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee is here. It's Friday, Pam.
Absolutely. Friday, heading into could be an extended weekend for a lot of folks. I imagine the Beltline's going to get pretty tricky later this afternoon with everybody that's trying to head out, including yours truly right here. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm getting it all in because you won't see me again until the 2nd of January. Congratulations to my buddy Brad Paff. Super selection for our next Wisconsin Ag Secretary. Brad is certainly no stranger to Wisconsin agriculture. He grew up on a dairy farm in La Crosse County. He's been very involved in policy development work, works very closely with 3rd District Congressman Ron Kine. Brad also is a past executive director for our state Wisconsin Farm Service Agency offices, so he knows Wisconsin agriculture well. It'll be nice to see him back in the state as our new Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection Secretary. And for you folks in the metro area, his little brother is Sean Paff, who was not too long ago the mayor of Fitchburg. So some connections all the way through. See, only if you're an old broad like the farm babe do you know the family tree. All right, markets today, they're still not happy with the business volume that they're getting from China on soybeans. So the soybeans are down. Wheat, I'm not sure why we're beating that one up so bad, except there might be developments on just exactly how much Russian wheat is coming into the marketplace or who else is competing against our U.S. farmers for that business. So that's kind of where we're at. Then again, it could just be a lot of traders want to even their positions before they go into the holiday weekend. Now, the markets will trade for half a day on Monday and then be idle until Wednesday. Barrel cheese today in Chicago dropped 2 cents to $1.39. 40-pound block cheese down 2 at $1.29.5. The AA butter up a half today at $2.20.5 per pound to end the week. Now, dairy is going to be one of those. The spot market will trade, but our product prices are probably done for the holiday trading, that is. So we might not see any action on them until Wednesday. But again, congratulations and welcome back, our friend Brad Paff, to the next Department of Ag Secretary.
Big news today. Merry Christmas, my friend, and Happy New Year. We'll see you in January.
Yep, absolutely. You too, Susie Q.
Are you traveling or will you be here for the holiday?
No. When you don't have kids, you travel for everybody else. So I'm happy to do it. Thank goodness Hattykins has given me decent travel weather.
Yeah,
way to go, kid.
That's true. Merry Christmas to the puppies, too.
Yep, thanks.
All right, Pam, thanks. We'll see you next year. And out to the weather patio and Hattie's forecast. Hi, Hattie.
Hi, Susan. Yeah, I was thinking of Pam when I made this forecast. I thought, what would Pam want to see for the weather? But no, in all seriousness, it looks pretty quiet through the holiday weekend, so great travel conditions for anyone in this part of the country. Today is also the winter solstice, the official start to winter. Whether or not you thought winter started in November, well, that's up to you. But officially, it begins today. It's the day with the least amount of daylight. We have just 9 hours of daylight today. And you see, though, as we go through time, we start start to gradually add daylight. The days technically start to get longer after today. Now, the caveat is that you're not going to notice much over the next week or so, especially even right through January. The additional daylight is pretty minimal. Right now, we're going to add about 1 to 2 minutes of daylight each week. But when we start to get into February and March, that's when we really start to ramp up the addition of daylight. And by June 21st, we'll have added almost 6.5 hours of daylight to our days. June 21st is the summer solstice and the day with the longest amount of daylight in the year. Now, we are not going to see a lot of sunshine today. Nothing showing up on the radar map around here, but there isn't going to be much sun either. Snow depth across the area with those mild temperatures that we had this week. The snowpack is really eroding across the state, and this is not the way the map would typically look this time in December. We have just a couple of inches of snow on the ground in the Northwoods right now. And we're not going to add much to that either. Take a look at the GFS Future Track model. This model can go way out into the future, 10 days. We'll look a few days ahead and show you what's going to happen. Now, there is a storm system tracking across southern Canada that may bring some flurries and light snow to the Badger State. We may even see a few of those flurries in our area on Saturday. Otherwise, things look pretty quiet Sunday through the day. On Monday, we'll still watch the potential for a little bit of flurry activity again late Monday into Tuesday, but those models are backing off on that chance with the latest forecast runs that I'm looking at right now. So really the chance for accumulating snow is pretty minimal across southern Wisconsin. There will be another storm system moving in for the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday time frame. Models have been all over the place with this one, but it looks like rain, possibly snow, as we head through the middle and end of next week. Now, as far as snow potential through Tuesday, not looking very good for a white Christmas here across southern Wisconsin. Take a look at that satellite map early this noon hour. The clouds extend all the way back to Minnesota and Iowa, so not a lot of sunshine for us. Very wet along the East Coast, and that storm is creating some travel problems. Take a look at the travel map. There are delays in New York at all of the airports. Boston is delayed right now, and San Francisco also delayed due to weather. There are also some delays due to thunderstorms in Miami. That's slowing things down in Chicago as well. So tough travel across the country. It will be wet today across the eastern seaboard. Mild conditions, but windy and very wet. So a little closer to home, here's what you can expect. Temperatures are in the 30s right now here across southern Wisconsin, and that's pretty much where we'll stay through the rest of the afternoon. Future Track will show you that temperatures may climb a couple of degrees. That's it. Some clearing taking place late today into tonight, but it'll be pretty short-lived. Clouds are on the way for tomorrow. Here's a look at your extended forecast. It does stay quiet, though. Outside of those chances for flurries on Saturday and then late Monday into Tuesday, very quiet weather through the Christmas holiday. It's next week that we'll watch. That weather could impact travel Wednesday and Thursday.
Eye on that. All right, Hattie, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
There's more to come today on News 3 at noon. When we come back, just call him Santa Cure. Watch the heartwarming moment this man surprises cancer patients during chemo. You're watching News 3 at noon. We'll be right back. Cancer patients in Houston were surprised with a special visitor this week. Santa Cure stopped by to spread love and cheer. But this Santa has a special connection to those in treatment.
This isn't a place anyone chooses to be. These people are fighting for their lives, undergoing chemo. That's why this visitor
ho, ho, ho.
Stopped by.
Merry Christmas.
He knows a little gesture,
Some Nordic spoons.
and a big hug
Okay.
can go a long way.
I'm a patient here too, so, today I'm Santa Cure.
Santa Cure
She's going to really believe now.
is also Eric Anthony.
I have to do my eyelashes. I had to go into Sally's beauty supply shop, and get supplies, and I'm like the only male, in there. Here's a staff member.
He did all that
I love it. I love gifts, so I love Santa also.
just to see a fellow patient smile.
It makes you feel like a kid again.
In the midst of his own health battles,
How about a big white box?
this makes him feel
Mystery
better,
gift.
too.
He's a good Santa.
Merry Christmas.
He really is.
Oh, I love that. That's what
good
it's all
story.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and for us, all is quiet in the weather department.
It is. Can't complain about this. We're making ice on the lake again today. Take a look at that cold-looking shot from the Edgewater Skycam. Through the day today, temperatures are going to hold pretty steady, right around 30. A lot of clouds here in Madison. Maybe a little bit of sun to the west. Otherwise, quiet for the weekend.
Oh, not bad. All right, Hattie, thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here for Live at 4 later this afternoon.